2019 Exam 2 Matrices Question 3. Okay, on Sunday, matrix V is used when calculating the expected number of visitors. And we've got this equation that we've got V times L naught. And part A, straightforward. Stated restrictions say that all 4 locations must have a maximum of 600. So which location is expected to have more than 600 at 11 a.m.? Obviously, this represents 10 a.m. So we're basically looking for V times L naught. And if you do that, you'll get this equation here. There's V, there's L. V times L gives us this. And if we label them up, that's A, F, G, W. Looks like it's A, and A is for air world. And that got you the mark. And 3/4 of people do it. That's not too bad, especially since it's coming towards the end of the exam and people are getting a bit tired and running out of time. On the previous equation, we worked out V times L naught, and L naught is exactly the same here as R naught, same numbers. So the same sort of idea applies. And what we're saying is that when you have these 600 visitors, the first 600 stay there, but then you've got to reallocate some from the air world down to the ground world. So let's remind ourselves when we worked out L1, so that we worked out L1 equals 810, 300, 310, and 580. And this is A, F, G, W. So this is got 210 too many, and it tells us that we've got to take them and put them to there. So this balancing equation, this B1 that we've got to determine, is going to say basically that we're going to take away 210 from A, do nothing with F, add that 210 to G, and do nothing with W. And that's that balancing equation that we need. Okay, this is one of the hardest questions I've seen in matrices. Now, we know L naught and R naught are the same. So I didn't change them on the calculator, you'll see in a moment. We've got this equation to get R1, and then we use that R1 to find R2, but we have to notice that B2 is not the same as B1. You've got to readjust. So anybody who is over the 600 gets moved to ground world. Okay, so that means there might be more than one place that's doing this. So let's have a look at what's going on with that calculation on the calculator. So I put in the B, and I did V times L plus B, which is exactly the same as this equation, which is V times R naught plus B1, and we get this situation. So that's nice. R1 equals 600. 300, 520, 580, and then we're going to use that over here, and hopefully everything's going to work out fine. It's quite tricky, this one. So the next stage was to just multiply this part here, which is V times R1. We haven't worked out what B2 is yet, but if you look here, we've got 2 places that are more than 600. So the 186 from there must go into here, but also the 44 from here must also go into there. So we know R2, it's got to be 600 because that's the maximum there. Nothing gets added to that one. That one stays at 288. But if you take the 282 and you plus 186 and you plus the 44, you actually get 512, and this one's 600. So your B2 is quite a different beast. It's got a horrible bracket. Let's do a nicer bracket. It is, you've got to subtract 186 from here, do nothing here. We've also got to subtract 44 from here. And if you then look at that, you've got to add up the 186 and the 44, and you'll get 230. So that's actually what B2 looks like. You could have just done it manually, like I did over here, but that's what B2 does to make sure that you don't get more than 600 at any location. They all get reallocated back to G world, but that's what R2 equals. Only 12% of people got this right. It was a toughie. very confusing, to be honest. I haven't seen anything like that before. I haven't seen anything like that in textbooks and things, so I can understand why people struggle with that one for a change, but study it hard. There's definitely going to be something with a balancing matrix in there on the exam.